Hello everyone! How is everybody doing tonight? I just got back home from grocery shopping, so haven't really had that much time to relax, unfortunately. But I did have a nice little dinner. I got myself some Korean dumplings, and they were good. They were juicy. Alright, and we are just getting right into things. The purchase of consumables for monetary units is vital to existence. Yes, very yes. I also got some of my favorite potato chips, Cape Cod salt and pepper. They're very good. And some strawberry chocolate Milano. Alright, so when last we left Ari and friends, it was the first day of Starcade. And now we're trying to figure out what we would need to do. So I am going to roll the dice again to find out what we need to fix. Right, so 1, 2, 3 is going to be Gavin and Percy. 4, 5, 6 is Naomi and Teo. And we got a 1. Besides, we had a fight with Teo, so we're kind of avoiding him right now. Since we decided to stick with the basics, there aren't too many places to hang out and not play games. It's all games, all the time. Surprisingly, Percy and Gavin have found a quiet corner near the change machine. Tanked. Completely tanked.
Much obliged.
I'm glad for your little tip. I was ready to invest a good chunk of my pocketbook in that company. All my hard work would have tanked right alongside it. This is par for course when my siblings snatch up technology companies. It's a pump and dump in essence. They stir up excitement in the acquisition, then drop it once it goes cold. I've never seen one of their endeavors bear fruit for very long thanks to their short attention spans. I'm glad I could save you the heartache.
Apologies.
No offense. I think I can handle a few accidental hot-related puns without going into cardiac arrest, my good fellow. But it's good to avoid a pothole on the road of finance, yes? Especially with so many of my resources already tied up in Starcade. I approach them in what seems to be a natural lull in the conversation, although talk of finances is in itself quite a downer. So, Stark Market Talk? Stark Market Talk? Yeah, I am tired. So, stock market talk?
Ah, indeed.
Indeed. I like to do my trades in the morning before I come to the arcade, get all that bother over with so I can focus on Moodbeat. Afraid we're being astoundingly boring at the moment, Ari. Just two overly serious gentlemen talking about finance. That's fine. I'm adulting at 110% efficiency today, having started a new business myself. I should probably learn about how, money works. Oh, what would you like to know about? Alright, 1 and 2 is going to be option 1, 3 and 4 is going to be option 2, and 5 and 6 is going to be option 3. I rolled a 2. I'd like to invest in our future. Think long-term, you know? Surviving for many years to come rather than jumping at the easiest profit I can. Any tips? A fine view to take. My own investments are preferably long-term. Yes, I make moment-to-moment trades, but they're backed by the stability of stock bedrock. Even after I'm gone, I expect many of those to cash out gradually, and I've hired a flanks of lawyers to carry out my wishes over the next 30 years. Gavin, how about I show you my portfolio, give you ideas for how to build up a nest egg for Starcade?
Thank you.
I'd be honored. I'll let you two handle the fine details. The two sink deeper and deeper into conversation about currency exchanges, fiscal policy, tax rate changes, and I start to lose consciousness. I admire their passion, but there's only so much adulting I can handle in one day, and I need to reserve some for later. It's then that I notice a customer having some problems with the change machines. She frowns as she swipes her credit card through the slot, and again, and again, the little red error light popping each time she does so.
Oh, man.
Oh, come on! This was working earlier. Sensing an opportunity to provide excellent customer service and further prove my adulting chops, I step in to help. Hello, good morning. I'm the manager here. Can I be of some assistance?
What's up?
Hey, good to see you. Love what you've done with the place, just love it. But something's wrong with your credit card readers. My card's legit, I was using it earlier with no issues, but now it's all messed up and stuff. Can you help me? I can pay cash if I gotta. I'm not trying to duck and run on you, but I'd really prefer to use the card. Okay, 1 and 2 is option 1, 3 and 4 is option 2, 5 and 6 is option 3, and we rolled a 3, so we're going to do On the House. It's opening day, and I want to build customer loyalty. Best way to do that is to be unusually generous. Here, have some tokens on me. Just our way of saying thanks for checking out Starcade today, so you can get started having fun. Seriously? Wow, thanks a bunch. I had a good feeling coming into this place, like I'd make it a fine home away from home. Glad to see I was right, super glad. Okay, I'm off to get my game on. Another problem solved by Ari. I am so good at this. With that matter settled, it's back to wandering the arcade. Where to next? Most of the time I'm drawn to Showtime Stage because of the flashing lights and the hip beats, not because it's completely silent. No music at all. As I approach, I see Naomi feverishly working to fix it. Seeing the whole thing without tune synced to its flashy lighting ring going is kinda depressing, and listening to Naomi mutter as she works, she undoubtedly feels the same way.
Oh.
This was working fine earlier. Why isn't it working now? Ugh! Fortunately, Teo is proving surprisingly knowledgeable about the inner workings of his favorite game. You may need to re-image the hard drive. I know some gray area websites where we can get a replacement copy of the files if needed. This is the 3rd release version of Showtime Stage's software, right? Those are easier to come by than the more modern 4th version, oddly enough. The files aren't the problem. I think the hard drive itself was damaged in shipping. And if so, well, you might not be able to dance it all today. I'd have to order a new part. I'm sorry. There were just so many games to get up and running, and I must have missed this ticking time bomb of a hardware failure. Hey, it's cool. I don't need to get my groove on all the time. Since Showtime Stage is defunct, maybe Teo has a moment or two to spare. Hey, Teo. I just wanted to touch base. Teo smiles nonchalantly, a mask to everyone around him save for me. Yep, that sounds about right, but it's going to have to wait. I can't abandon my other love, Showtime Stage, right now. I can't argue with solid logic. His game needs him. Showtime Stage is one of our flagship games. It's flashy, it's exciting, and Teo's dance moves bring the crowd in. Getting it working for opening day is a priority. Okay, so option 3. So what I'm hearing is that any legit fix will take time. Can we put a different game in this spot temporarily to cover us in the meanwhile? I don't think so, unfortunately. Yes, Showtime Stage is a pretty big file of hardware and has a distinct footprint. You can't put an upright cabinet here and have it make sense. We might be able to put, like, 3 or 4 cabs here in a back-to-back configuration. I guess we can pull some from our off-site storage unit. Won't be ready until the end of the day, but it'll cover us for tomorrow. Yeah, any official replacement part would need to be shipped from corporate HQ in Japan. That'll take too much time, may as well replace the game until then. Listen, how about I help with this? Moving the whole stage takes a lot of effort. Oh, we couldn't now possibly ask you to do that! Plus, if Teo throws out his back hefting the hardware, he's not covered by our insurance. It's cool, I don't mind at all. Least I can do to help Starcade really shine. Well, if Ari is okay with it, I guess. Just be careful, please. You got it. So it'll take a bit of time, but it'll get our stage back in working order. Good, good. Maybe we'll get through opening day without any major problems aside from this. Before I go, I spot a gamer who's been watching, super curious about what's going on. I could swear I've seen this guy before, maybe in a crowd or something? Hey, is Showtime Stage really hosed? For now, yes, but we'll have it fixed up as soon as we can. Aw, man, I wanted to get my groove on. That's a bummer. You know, I might know a guy who knows a guy who can get you a replacement super cheap. Or, like, any game you want. Anything. As long as you know, don't ask too many questions. No reason to be mean, or to lampshade what's likely meant as an open invitation to do some crimes. I'm happy to see your enthusiasm for Starcade, but I think we can handle this. Sorry you can't play your favorite game right now, but it'll be fixed soon. The gamer shrugs it off, not too offended. School. Just figured I'd offer. I dig this place. It's got a little bit of everything I like. I'll just come back later to wow all the ladies with my hot style. Later. That was odd. But as he fades back into the crowd, I decide to move on. Where should I visit next? Before I can continue my wanderings, Gavin pops up directly in my path. Stop whatever you're doing and look towards the doors without making it look like you're looking for anyone in specific. What? Okay, what am I pretending not to be looking for? Mrs. Jean de Fame. I have no idea who that is. The top arcade critic in the city. Her reviews can make or break an arcade easily. I didn't think she'd be coming today, as normally some little independent arcade is beneath her interest, but apparently she's made an exception. If we don't want to end up smeared across every website she writes for, I suggest you go play nice and show her all the positives of Starcade. Okay, I'm on it. Best foot forward. She's the redhead near the entrance with the handbag. Best of luck. I easily spot her thanks to Gavin's cues. Considering this morning lacked the usual chaos I experienced on my first day at the Funplex, I'd say we're off to a great start, and I'm sure this reviewer will appreciate that. Wearing my most professional smile, I stroll over to the entrance. You! I remember you! Oh no. Oh no. My dear, wonderful Josh had a miserable time in your arcade at that birthday party. You claimed my Josh was too stupid to know how coin slots work. Well, this arcade was fun while it lasted. Might as well burn it all down to ashes, and build a new arcade on those ashes 100 years from now after this blows over. Before I can try to defend myself, she holds up a hand to stop me. Now, while I seriously question the wisdom of allowing you to run an arcade and would love nothing more than to give you 0 stars and walk away immediately, I am unfortunately committed by ethical standards to stay and properly review your establishment in a relatively unbiased fashion. So as unpleasant as this may be for both of us, I suggest we remain professional, even if you've dug yourself a rather deep hole to climb out of, in my view. Understood? Even if I want to go on a tirade or chew her out, I've got to think of the arcade. This isn't some rando angry parent. Not this time. It feels like chewing ground glass, but I need to swallow my pride on this. Understood? Excellent. What I need from you now is to stay out of my way. No special treatment or consideration. I need to observe your arcade as a disinterested outside party so that I can judge your facility and atmosphere. But rest assured, if I see some egregious mistake, I will bring it to your attention, pointedly. My readers likewise will become very aware of your shortcomings. I do my best to support consumer activism, and that requires absolute honesty of any difficulties I observe. So until such time as I require you, I suggest we speak no further. Agreed? Sure, fine. As you were then. Wonderful, just wonderful. Not only does she hate us right off the bat, but I can't even leap to the defense of what we've built here without antagonizing her further. I may need to talk with Gavin about how to save Starcade from inevitable negative review. Nothing else I can do now but pray to the arcade gods that everything from here on out goes perfectly. Once again, I wander the floor, but this time, while it's all smiles and pleasantries on the outside, I'm left all alone battling my thoughts. Okay, breathe. It's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. Besides, the morning wasn't too eventful. Who's to say the afternoon will be a disaster? And then the afternoon was a disaster. I knew I had spoken too soon the second I saw Gavin approaching me with a tinge of worry furrowing his brow.
Utterly pretty ridiculous.
It shouldn't be possible for us to be out of nachos in the vending machines this fast, and yet we are. I have receipts for ordering exactly enough to fill them up, and yet there were only a few bags in there. A missed delivery, perhaps? And that was the least of our problems. Ari, we've got an electrical problem. 3 of the retro games have shorted out. I don't understand. I tested the power supplies. Outright rebuilt a few of them. Unless someone's seriously scuffing their sneakers and shocking the coin boxes, we're talking a failure somewhere in our electrical wiring. Calamity after catastrophe. They just kept piling up.
What?
All of the toilets stopped working. All of them. We need to call a plumber fast and not the one that jumps on turtles. Everything is not fine. What are we gonna do? This doesn't make any sense. I'm freaking out. I'll admit that.
Well.
I'm freaking out. Maybe we should close down for the day, iron out the wrinkles, try again tomorrow? We are hastily losing our grip on things, and if I don't say anything, we may as well call it quits. I must refocus our energy. Okay, option 2. Well, that's it. Toss a match and let's burn the place down for the insurance money. That might be a fiscally sound decision at that point. Gavin! No, I was joking. That was a joke, much like all my wry humor. Maybe instead of burning it down, and this is just me spitballing here, we can work the problem, people. Talk to me. What do you got? Any ideas? The group exchanges nervous glances, then, thankfully, stops to breathe and think. I will become the plumber we need. I mean, not exactly, but I'll grab a plunger and do what I can. We'll have to close down the bathrooms for now, but I'm sure we can convince one of our neighbors to loan us theirs, maybe? I'll check next door with them before I go do battle with our demonically possessed toilets. And while I'd say this vending machine issue is human error, I have enough faith in my own error checking to say this human is not responsible. I'll make some calls with our distributors and see where the chain broke down. Also see about ordering some quick replacement stock. Mine's a bit more complex. I need to replace the fried power supplies, but I can do that. I can do most of those today. Meanwhile, I'll put a feeler out to the indie arcade community online. See if we can get an electrician with arcade experience out here quickly. I've been meaning to get back into online groups, and even if it means popping my head up in a crowd, I'll do it. Okay, good solutions, people. Good solutions. I won't be able to work the floor while I'm taming our restrooms. Ari, are you good for covering with me? Things seem to be getting more intense as the day picks up. You 3 focus on your tasks at hand. I may be the boss, but I was a floor attendant originally. I can handle whatever Starcade throws at me. Got it? Gotcha. But I'm changing out of this first. I don't want to get poo water over our new mascot. Toodles! I'm on it. You can count on me. With all 3 busy, that leaves me in charge of every problem that may emerge for the rest of the afternoon. No way to tap out with someone to help me with these situations. I need to work fast, to hit every problem before it's too late. Can't leave any stones unturned this time, no risk of letting something spiral out of control. But I'm ready. I mean, I have to be. No choice. Feeling freshly invigorated, I start my floor trek. There are problems all around me, but what should I tackle first? Okay, option 3. The video wall keeps showing pictures of bunnies? The retro television-based video wall was an idea I came up with during renovations. Naomi runs the whole thing off a cheap mini-computer. Practical and inexpensive, and it gives just the perfect amount of flair. And I've been pretty proud of it, up until this moment. For some reason, it's showing a nature documentary about cute and fluffy bunnies instead of retro music videos and arcade high scores. Not that bunnies are a bad thing necessarily. There are so many worse things that could be playing. But it's still not playing what I want it to play. Something's amiss. And as I'm hunting around for the remote control we keep at the prize desk, Teo approaches. Bunnies, huh? Yep, bunnies. Interesting choice, Ari. Not my choice, Teo. I'll have it fixed in a moment. Okay, cool. I was wondering if we'd suddenly experienced a paradigm shift in arcade theming or something. The bunnies are really cute, though. Grabbing the remote, I flick it back to channel 3, which should take the video feed from Naomi's system, and it flips back to the bunnies on channel 5 a few seconds later. Persistent, aren't they? Almost like the rabbits themselves. It's nice to see him in a more upbeat mood considering what happened earlier. But as much as I'd like, I can't heed him too much attention. These bunnies are driving me mad. So I click back to channel 3, and nope, once again it reverts back to 5. Okay, clearly we're dealing with a master hacker, one who can modify Naomi's system despite having no physical access to it. An individual capable of truly hacking the planet. Yeah. Or it's a prankster with a universal TV remote. I've got one of those myself. Helps me to turn off overly loud TVs in bars which drown out the beats of whatever game I'm playing. Not that I would ever do that, mind you, just in case. But with great power comes great responsibility, and clearly whoever's forcing us to watch this lacks the latter. How about I go subtly check the crowd to see if anybody's got a clear line of sight and is pointing a gadget at the video wall each time you change it. I'm strapped for help, so I'm not going to deny Teo's offer. Sure, go for it. The war for remote control continues for another minute, back and forth from music videos to documentaries about rabbits. And now it's showing them mating! Which I'm seriously hoping does not count as pornography, or it'll be yet another black mark against us with a certain arcade critic. It's only been a few minutes, but it feels like an eternity of copulating lagomorphs before Teo returns. Found him. Orange jacket standing near the pinball section. Thanks, Teo. No worries. Anything for Starcade. I won't just leave you high and dry even if we aren't on solid ground like right now. I roll up the sleeves on my hoodie, ready to put an end to this. Wait a minute. Isn't that the arcade newbie from earlier? They didn't seem like a troublemaker at the time. What's going on here? Nope, it's definitely this kid. I can see the tiny plastic gadget in their hand briefly before they pocket it. Perhaps noticing my approach, this teenager rolls stealth and gets a natural 1, resulting in an awkward and obvious attempt at looking like an unimportant part of the crowd. Hey! Didn't do anything! Hi, good to see you again. What's up? How are things? Given this living bundle of nervousness, I'm not sure I feel like coming down like a ton of bricks on the poor kid. But rules are rules, right? Excuse me, would you kindly stop doing that? I'm sorry, but I know you're the one changing the TV channel. I'm not, you are, but it's okay, it's not really a big deal. If you'd kindly stop doing it from now on, we can let this go. It's not like you did anything seriously wrong, okay? Just stop changing the channel. Okay, sorry. I wasn't trying to cause trouble. I was, but... Never mind, okay, I'll stop. Thank you, bye! And they're gone, slipping back into the crowd. That was weird. What's going on here? I decide to look around a bit more, hoping for some clues. What trouble should I investigate next? As I hear the clang and bang of someone assaulting a cabinet, I see Percy holding up a finger to grab my attention. I motion for him to join me, and he does. My goodness, I tried to grab Ashley, but she was in a hurry, brandishing a plunger like it was some sword. There's so much going on right now. What's happening? Some hooligan's walking his way down the retro games, yelling at them and smacking around the joysticks like they're speed bags. I swear he was going to knock over Joust, that's how hard he was shoving that cabinet. People have been avoiding going near him ever since he started raging out. It's causing quite a scene. I'll take care of it, Percy. Thanks. Be careful, love. I don't like the looks of this one. He places a hand on my shoulder in solidarity before leaving. This happens more often than you'd think. Someone getting so mad at a game that they start smacking the cabinet around. Unlike pinball, which will go into tilt mode to punish you, the only justice to be found here is my justice. I am the arcade law. You stupid piece of game. I totally jumped over that barrel. Stupid monkey and his barrels. Even if, well, I'm a little less eager than to bring down the law on this guy. I'm in awe of the size of this lad. He probably eats 6 whole hams for breakfast and bench presses pickup trucks for fun. But I know my duty. I know what I must do. Let's keep this simple. Sir, we have a strict policy against damaging our games. I need you to stop that immediately. And who the are you, huh? Oh, good. Just what we needed right now. From the corner of my eye, I spot Mrs. Defame watching. I'd better stay cool. I'm the manager here, and I have right to eject any customer abusing the games. I suggest you play nicely if you want to stay in Starcade. Understood, sir? You little... But oddly, his attention is diverted to something or someone behind me. It's only for a couple seconds, but his whole demeanor changes after that. Fine. He storms off, deciding he'd rather have the last word than argue it further. I turn to see who or what exactly changed his mind with a sharp glance. The crowd's too thick. Whoever or whatever it was is gone now. And Mrs. Defame returns to the crowd without a comment, hopefully quietly approving of my lawbreaking. That was odd, but I guess a win is a win. Now then, what problem to address next? A small crowd has gathered near one of the retro arcade games we'd fitted with a ticket dispenser, one which is spewing an endless supply of tickets onto the floor. The high score display keeps flashing, but rather than a number, it just flashes error again and again.
Nope, no way.
Okay, everyone, obviously this is not supposed to be happening, it's a bug. Nobody, and I mean nobody, takes these tickets on my watch, got it? Oh, kid, good thing you showed up. You're pretty short-staffed today, huh? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted that arcade critic to overhear. This is going to make for one hell of a review, I suspect. Don't worry, Queen Bee, your arcade enforcer of justice, is on hand to pick up the slack. Now help me find the plug so we can shut this thing down. Good thing Naomi's instilled some of her arcade-fixing knowledge onto us since we've known her. We find the plug tucked neatly under a flap of carpet and yank it out. With the tickets ceasing, the crowd gets bored and leaves. That'll at least stop it until we can delve deeper. Mostly problem solved? Alright, I need to get back to my game. Good luck figuring this one out, okay? It's probably just a random error. This is experimental new hardware, these little boxes Naomi made which add ticket output to 1980X games. Although, Naomi did do a bunch of double and triple checks to our hardware. She assured me it'd be fine. And since she's busy currently, I have only one option to turn to for technological assistance. Iris, can you check the security camera footage? I want to know who played this game last.
Iris, online.
Already on it. I've been analyzing the video feeds ever since I saw the error. It looks like the person who broke the game was a tall man with blue sunglasses. You think he did this on purpose? Considering I'm seeing him literally pick the coin door lock and mess with the internals? Yeah, I'd guess it wasn't an accident. 99.97% sure it's not an accident. It's odd though, he didn't even take the tickets, he just crashed the machine and walked away. I can't explain his motivations, but that would be accurate, yes. Thanks, Iris. Time to get to the bottom of this. It doesn't take long to track the guy down. For starters, there's his rather unique fashion sense. Also the way he's glancing left and right, checking if the coast is clear before kneeling down to futz with another lock. Kinda hard to give him benefit of the doubt, or even a second chance. He clearly broke the rules of the arcade. Although he looks like the sort of who would break me if I break the news to him badly. I should choose my words wisely, ones that involve me staying in one piece. Maybe we can avoid a scene if I politely ask him to just stop? It's worth a try at least. Hope springs eternal. Sir, please stop. Immediately, he straightens up, pocketing the item he was committing arcade crimes with, all nonchalant-like. What? I wasn't doing nothing. Yes, you were. I know, in fact, exactly what you were doing. I'm the manager here, and I'd like to ask, would you kindly knock it off? I don't want to have to eject you from my arcade. Understood? At first, he growls a little, ready to protest his innocence, before holding himself back. Looky, I'm under orders, nerdo. Fine, whatever you want. And he walks off into the crowd without another word. I'm left in a state of utter confusion over our exchange, but I'll take it hesitantly. Iris? Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him through the security video feeds. Don't worry, I'll let you know if he resorts to his nefarious ways. All handled and without causing an incident, although I'm vague on what he meant by orders exactly. With that in the bag, I quickly look around to see if there are any other nearby problems I can address. Before I can continue my quest to purge my arcade of evildoers, I'm interrupted by an onslaught of my hard-working staff. I knew it! Ari, about our missing inventory! When I get my hands on whoever did this, I found the electrical problem, Ari. Sabotage and treason! An enemy agent walks among us! Okay, so we have some insight to what's causing all these messes, but it's a chaotic jumble right now. One at a time, please. Our suspiciously low snack inventory was indeed not human error. The delivery truck never arrived here. It was routed to a garbage dump due to computer error, or as I suspect, malfeasance. And malfeasance explains our electrical problems too. Remember my joke about someone scuffing their feet and shocking the coin boxes? Nope, that's actually what happened. An external shock, not a grid failure. Someone's got a battery or some other shock prod and was using it to crash games. Must be the same someone who flushed a bunch of wadded up paper towels and firecrackers down the toilets. It's a war zone in here. I was able to dredge up one super gross chunk of it, but we'll need a professional plumber to get the rest. This is all sounding way too suspicious to be random acts of hooliganism, and it also ties into what I've been handling on the floor. I've had to deal with pranksters all afternoon too. I've been so busy playing firefighter, running from blaze to blaze with a leaky bucket, that I haven't been able to put the pieces together. But now it's clear, and I know what I must do. Good work, everyone. I'm proud of you. But the job's not finished yet. Gavin, order us replacement inventory. Ashley, find a plumber, the best we can afford. Naomi, finish up replacing the fried power supplies. As for me, I'm going to have a word with our miscreant. You know who to blame for this mess? I've got a pretty strong suspicion. Go get him, Ari! And with a nod of solidarity, all of us split up, each on our own mission to thwart the ne'er-do-wells. Assuming things will be fine isn't enough. Keeping a positive attitude isn't enough. I need to get in there and fix this. My friends are counting on me to lead, to be the responsible one. I can't foist this off onto Gavin like I might have done at the Funplex. Finding my quarry isn't particularly difficult. She's been in the background the whole time, watching and waiting as I ran around trying to put a lid on the mayhem. Her eyes study me as I approach, grinning ear to ear.
Hiya. Hi. Hello there. Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I cannot say I understand the why, but I at least know the who. The matching fashion style was a pretty big clue.
I guess a formal introduction's in order. Yeah, okay. The name's Sue. Natural-born leader, hacker extraordinaire, and leader of the Ghost Monsters, the hottest gang on these streets. Pleased to meet ya.
She playfully curtsies, her wicked smile never ceasing.
And yeah, I guess my friends were a little wild and crazy, leaning a bit heavy on the pranks. But clearly, you were cool with that, since you didn't kick any of us out. I respect that. I really do. Shows you know it's all in good fun. Let me make it up to you, okay?
Sue steps back and taps a button on her smartwatch. And from the crowd of gamers, her whole gang assembles. Gang, this is... what's your name again? Mixcator. Gang, this is Ari. Ari, this is Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Now then. She turns to face her ghost monsters. You were all very, very naughty, and I'd say they're owed an apology. A big fat I'm sorry from each of you. Don't you agree? Each of them mumbles a semi-coherent, semi-sincere apology. Yeah, whatever. Sorry. Real sorry. Gosh, I'm so sorry, Mixcator. I'm really sorry. When they finish, Sue faces me once again.
There. Everybody's sorry, which means everybody's forgiven. Correct? Because, and this is me being real with you, I like this arcade. I really do. It beats the crap out of Deco's Palace, that's for sure. I can easily see this being our new home, you know? I admire what you've done with the place. It's totally awesome, and I'm really looking forward to coming back. Again and again. I definitely don't want to end our first day here on a sour note. No. I'm so glad we can communicate like adults. Apologize for being naughty and move on. Now, okay, we may still ruffle a few feathers while we're here, but that's cool, right? I'm sure you understand that it's all fun and games. Nothing personal. So, what do you say, friend? All's forgiven?
I pause, taking in everything Sue rambled on about. ... Let me get this straight. You scare our customers, mess with our television sets, smash up and short-circuit our games, clog our toilets, redirect our mail orders, expect a second chance to cause trouble after I already let your first wave of chaos slide, mess with our ticket payout systems, and you want me to smile and let you come back tomorrow? My words barely faze her, that grin still lingering. Yep, yeah, that sounds about right. I love this arcade, and I think we could be great friends. What do you say, partner? Waiting for my response, she holds out a fist to bump. Option 3. Whoops! Y'all are gonna have to take my word for it. I dropped it down here somewhere. So yeah, we got option 3 on this. Look, I'm sure you're all good kids at heart, but if I let you hang around here and you just cause more problems, it's no good for any of us. If you sincerely love Starcade, you understand I can't let you ruffle feathers, as you put it. I need to make sure everyone's having a good time. Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, right? So, I might be willing to offer you another chance if you promise me you'll follow the rules from now on. That's the best I can do, okay?
No helping it.
Well, I'd like to work with you here, really, but promise is kind of a steep ask. Something's wrong. I'm a pretty empathetic sort of person. I can tell when someone's being legit with me. And she's clearly genuine about wanting to come back, but seems conflicted. How hard is it to not hack machines and run wild? Why would that be a problem? Okay, see, normally I'd give you my word. Word is bond, but, well, no ifs, ands, or buts. I need your word if I'm going to rebuild trust with you. We don't need to have to get the police involved here. We can keep this between us, right? Sue raises an eyebrow at that.
Whoa, put the brakes on. Bad idea, friend. Really bad idea. You don't want to even think about getting the cops involved in this. No. Because, and this is me being honest with you because we're on such good terms, it won't do you any good. We'll be out and back on the streets within a day. We've got friends in high places. We don't sell drugs or weapons. We sell information. And information, as a currency, is far more valuable than what other gangs trade in. So if we're doing this, we don't involve the pigs. Any problems, you come to me direct. That's my rule. Break that rule. And, well, you don't want to see what I can do with the push of a single button.
So now you're threatening me?
I'm just telling you how it is. What you do now is entirely up to you.
But before she can continue her tirade, we're rather rudely interrupted. Oi, Sue! The hell you think you're doing here? The thick tension that surrounded us melts away, redirected towards the new challenger. All eyes glare towards them. Oh, great. Okay, Ari, hold that thought. I've got business to attend to. Damn right you do. Ghost monsters don't operate south of 23rd Street. You damn well know this is lovely chainsaw territory. Get lost or get tossed. If I wasn't confused before, I sure as heck am now. All I can do is watch this unfurl before me. With a clap, Sue summons her buddies to her side. I'm sorry, south of what? I don't recall signing any non-compete agreement with you darlings.
Ghost monsters for life!
Oh, ghost monsters, this locker room gossip queen is disrespecting your fearless leader. What do we say to that? Nobody disses Sue on my watch. Nobody. Yeah, and I ain't scared to hit a chick. I'm an equally opportunity, socially maladjusted individual. Think you've got your answer, ladies. Now then, let's rumble! Well, to their credit, they didn't throw the first punch. But we're talking Han didn't shoot first levels of moral high ground there. Immediately, the ghost monsters and the lovely chainsaw are at each other's throats, grappling, punching, shoving each other. A baseball bat gets swung and clangs off the side of a racing game. Soda cans are thrown. Someone uproots a chair near the snack machine and that goes flying too. It's chaos. Complete and utter chaos. And it needs to stop. Now. Iris! Already calling the cops, sorry. As for me, I was already on thin ice emotionally. Everything will be fine, I told myself. Everything will be fine. Well, that just went out the window. I guess I could stand here paralyzed and freaking out, or I could do something to try and save this. I chose the latter. Priority 1, get the customers the hell out of here. Gavin and Ashley are already on that. I join in, trying to funnel the panicked crowd of kids and gamers out the door and away from the carnage. This way, hurry! In an orderly fashion, please. Out! Everybody out! With our focus on loading the place with arcade games and nothing more, it doesn't leave a lot of room to work with. Nor is it much of an octagon for the remarkably sloppy mixed martial arts brawl breaking out. We're going to have a lot of game damage when all is said and done. Damn it! I'm not letting that get away with this! Until now, it's been the world's sloppiest barroom brawl. Teenagers flailing at each other wildly, generally wrecking the scene rather than each other. But now, she's pulled out a gun. Not some arcade-like gun, but a real-life shooting and killing gun. This isn't happening. This cannot be happening. This is 100% happening. The leader of the Ludley Chainsaw Gang raises her weapon and takes aim at Sue, trying to end this. But her target is conveniently tucked behind Mrs. Defame and Ashley. If I don't do something, someone is going to get seriously hurt. My mind races. Everything is not fine. I've accepted that. And now, I have one chance to get something right. One chance to do something good in the midst of all this chaos. Time slows for me, like I'm trapped in a dream state. Pure instinct takes over, and I start running towards them. We are protecting Mrs. Defame. Get down! Holy what did you... I was aiming for Sue. Pigs! Run for it! Stay cool and wipe the footage first. Do it! Stay with us, Ari. Stay with us. Help us on the way. I just wanted to make a dream for everyone to enjoy. That's all. Was that so wrong? It's what you would have done. It's what you did too, for all of us. But I guess no good deed goes unpunished, huh? The Cater family curse.
You've a strong spirit, dear. You'll get through this, I know you will. But for now, you'd best wake up. There's still more to be done.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. My captions aren't working. Slowly, very slowly, I open my eyes. The soft beeping of medical monitoring greets me, as well as an angel in white. Well, an angel in a white lab coat. While they're no heavenly being, they do appear to be my doctor, armed with nothing more than a clipboard. I'm still a little hazy as they briefly explain the situation. Thanks to my wild theatrics, I startled the shooter enough that her bullet missed its intended target. And instead, it went into my leg. Which hurts like... but apparently resulted in a surprisingly clean shot that I'll recover from in a few weeks easily. 2 days in the hospital, a week or 2 on crutches, some limping, then I'll be back to 100%. And more importantly, nobody died. I can live with this momentary pain if someone else gets to live, period. So, could have been better, could have been worse. The doctor, having given me the report, leaves to treat the other patients. But before they do, they inform me I have a visitor. At least there's a plus side. I just wonder who it is. Teo walks in, holding a huge bouquet of all my favorite flowers. It's a beautiful arrangement and the second biggest one I've ever received. He sheepishly smiles when we lock eyes. These are for you. You're too sweet, the sweetest. Teo places the flowers on the bedside table before sitting down next to me. He takes my hand in his and holds tightly. Before I can say anything, Teo interrupts me.
Thank you for dealing with me in my moment of selfishness earlier. I was too focused on myself to see anything else. I just wanted that job so bad. I know I've been trying to focus on myself rather than pushing everyone else into the spotlight. I was being selfless to the point of diminishing myself. But in this case, maybe being a little more selfless would have helped me understand how isolated you felt. Instead, I got defensive and callous to your needs.
The game vocals are a little low. Let me see.
Hey, listen.
How does that sound?
And for that, I apologize.
Teo goes straight to the point, and I take a moment to ponder his admission. That's a 1. It shouldn't be just Teo apologizing. It takes 2 to tango, so to say. I'll apologize as well. I should have been more open to discussing it with you further before jumping to a negative conclusion. Audio ducking somehow? And of course I accept your apology. Can you forgive me too? Naturally. Shall we kiss and make up? Naturally. Teo leans over and gingerly places a kiss on my forehead. I really didn't mean for our conversation to end as sour as it did. And I feel even worse that it ended up with you injured before we could sort it all out. It's not like either of us expected this to end in gunfire, Teo. If I was psychic or had superhuman speed, then I could have stopped it easily. Or if I'd just been a little bit quicker to react. You're too hard on yourself, Teo. All that matters is that you're happy, I'm happy, and we're happy together. Our eyes lock as I smile lovingly at him. Teo's cheeks flush, grinning sheepishly. I'm extremely happy. His smile lingers a second longer before a thought pops into his mind. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I made a few phone calls and chatted with a couple of friends in the industry. Go on. You remember Michelle from Max? Yeah, of course. Turns out she's working on a new indie game. A rhythm game. Sounds like it's your jam, literally. It's called Dance Game. That's it, just Dance Game. How apropos. According to her, development is coming along at a good pace and it's poised to take off in a big way. She also dropped some hints that with great popularity comes the need for a great community manager. So she offered me the position closer to launch, which I, of course, took. Now I can stay here, help out with Starcade, and have a badass new job. Everything's coming up, Teo. Whoa. I'm all for Teo being community manager of a new game, and I'm actually really thrilled that he's staying, but Dance Game? That's a working title, right? Nope, it's the actual name. Legit. It's catchy and it rolls right off the tongue. It's going to be a huge hit, I can feel in my soul. As soon as you're fully healed, I'd love to take you out on a celebratory date night. Yes, please. Now, if I could only heal faster. I should let you nap then. As my great aunt used to say, rest is the best medicine. So relax and enjoy some beauty sleep. Not that you need any, you're the cutest patient in this hospital. Even with this IV attached to me and these bandages on my leg, even then, rest up and I'll be back soon. Dream of me. Teo blows me a kiss as he disappears from my hospital room. Seeing the person I care for the most was certainly a boon to my spirit. Now if they could only do something about the food here. With my heart calmed, my body finally tells me it's exhausted. I snuggle into the covers as a yawn escapes me. Just as I'm about to roll over and drift off to sleep, another visitor drops in. It's likely well past visiting hours, but with no small amount of both dread and relief, I'm glad to see her. Mix Cater, a word, if you will. I try to straighten myself up from my pillow backrest. Time to put on my professional front, even if I'm in excruciating pain. Okay, I should start by explaining that what happened today isn't exactly indicative of I should hope it was. It's hard to disguise the disbelief on my face. What? It seems I've misjudged your character based on an initial unpleasant interaction, but what I saw today, clearly you are no fool nor coward. I let my need to protect my family override my better judgment. How absurd to paint everything you've built at Starcade with that brush, all over such a small matter. I saw you selflessly throw yourself in front of that bullet. You didn't have to do that, you chose to do that. It's indicative of someone who isn't simply in this for the money, as so many in the industry are. In fact, you took a bullet for me, despite my open hostility towards you. It seems very childish of me in retrospect, and I apologize. I suppose I've become a bit jaded from all those eager to cash in on the arcade scene. All the large-scale arcades I have to review tend to be very impersonal and cold. So, you were impressed with our arcade? Well, let's not go that far. I can't say I was thrilled with the amount of mayhem and disaster going on even before a gang war broke out. But I will also say I've only ever seen that amount of mayhem and disaster once before. It's highly unusual, to say the least. The last time I reviewed a small up-and-coming arcade similar to yours, everything went wrong. Everything. I wrote my review in an honest fashion, and as a result of my scathing pen, the place was sold and closed down within a month. Sold to a notable figure in this industry. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, Deco Nami. Such is the fate of any arcade which dares to stand up to him. Your prior business, the Funplex, only escaped being devoured by being far too small to be worthwhile. Sadly, your enthusiasm may have put it in his crosshairs, and if you cannot tidy up your reputation after today's affairs, Starcade will be next. Again, and again, torn down by Deco Nami. This time he didn't even have to lift a finger. By sheer coincidence, the ghost monsters wrecked everything before he could exact any revenge. All he has to do is swoop in and buy out what's left of our dreams. However, I have come to a decision. Given I was a first-hand witness to your troubles, which were clearly not your fault, and given your willingness to put even your own life on the line for your arcade, I'm going to tell my editor I need more time, that I want to return in 1 week to get a more accurate and mature overview of your operation. 1 week. That's the best I can offer you. This is a difficult hole to climb out of, Mixcator. Even aside from earlier trouble having a gang fight and a shooting transpire in an arcade, well, the press will feed on this. Even if I was the only press present and accounted for, they'll dig and they'll speculate and they'll chew on your bones. If your arcade survives that initial onslaught, I hope to write a proper review which can lay those concerns to rest. But I'll offer you no more second chances, no more reasonable doubts. Best foot forward when I return, or my readers will know the truth. Understood? Understood. Then I'll leave you to your recuperation. With a curt nod, she turns and leaves the room, leaving me with my thoughts. 1 week. I've got exactly 1 week to completely rebuild our reputation and clear the good name of Starcade. Otherwise, it's game over. For all of us. You've cleared level 7 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. Looks like your personality's full of guts. Strong guts. Also, you've scored with 18,500 points. Woohoo! And now, let's have one last pizza fact. 62% of Americans prefer meat toppings on their pizza, while 38% prefer vegetarian. Everybody loves different kind of pizza, and that's a beautiful thing. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to, drum roll please, the final level? Alright, it's the final level, everyone. Level 8, Kill Screen. It is the distant future year 20XTX, and... Oh, who am I kidding? I'll be lucky to make it to 20XTX+1 at this rate. I've had my strand of fate twisted back and forth so often it feels like it could snap at any moment. Mired in depression and a supposed family curse, then lifted up by my amazing time at the Funplex, slammed back down by Deco Nami, raised up again by the Starcade project, and now descending farther due to a series of bad coincidences, culminating in a Pier 6 brawl in which I got shot. But today, I'm back. Back to Starcade and ready to work despite being on crutches. Normally I have to mentally filter out the beeps and boops of a busy arcade, but not today. aside from our regulars, nobody's here. Not exactly the sight I wanted to see on my grand return after heroically taking a bullet to the leg. We're 3 days into this ambitious experiment, and it's already looking like a bust. Even with a reprieve from Mrs. Defame, we couldn't hush the event up completely. The news of gang violence at a local arcade spread over social media but like wildfire. Gavin had filled me in on all the details I missed while I was passed out. By the time the cops got here, both gangs were long gone, and the ghost monsters wiped our security footage on the way out the door. No arrests made, no evidence remaining. The only plus side? Sue and her ghost monsters apparently never came back, but even without them as actively causing problems, that single day managed to smash our reputation. It's just so... And it's a 2. We've had absolutely no issues since that disastrous first day, and yet people refuse to even show up to see how the situation is improved. Fear keeps them from seeing the truth of the matter. It's entirely unreasonable. It's illogical. I don't honestly know how we can recover from this. If we could only get the good word out, somehow correct this PR disaster. Seated behind the ticket desk, with my crutches propped up nearby, light duty only for a week minimum, doctor's orders, I tried to mentally detangle this mess. Hey, Iris, are we... Yes, we're still trending negatively on social media, like the last 7 times you asked. Any luck with our security camera footage then? Anything we could give to the police? It might help our public image to have someone to point blame at. Nope, it's totally wiped. And my file recovery system's failed. I guess that's to be expected when going up against cybercriminals. Like, they've even avoided bad press from the shooting. I haven't spotted the words ghost monsters in any of the articles I've found about the attack. It's like they're ghosts. Well, not literally ghosts, I just mean they clean their tracks very effectively. Yeah, got that. We did see them in their corporeal form, remember? At least that whole mess seems to be behind us. Now we just need to dig our way out of this hole. I sigh heavily as the burden sinks into my lungs. And before I can groan further, I hear footsteps approaching me. I lock my phone and pocket it before seeing who it is.
Hello.
Hello, Ari. Good to see you up and about. I'm up but hardly about. I'll probably be glued to the stool all day long. Yes, well, it beats the alternative, doesn't it? Plus, you get a nice view of the old arcade, although a bit quiet in here today, isn't it? Yeah, I know, but we can turn this around. I know we can turn this around. Right, well, I don't mean to be a bother, but I wanted to talk to you about our financial situation, seeing as I'm bankrolling this affair and such. As soon as he mentions money, my chest tightens as I expect the worst. It's not an unreasonable thing to bring up, but can I deal with more bad news? I may have more than my fair share of wealth, but it's not bottomless. Honestly, you could see the bottom even before I could put my stake in Starcade.
Well,
Gavin and I have been going over the spreadsheets, and at our current rate, well, I'm afraid we only have so much padding before we have to start considering options. Options like selling. I don't want to, believe me. But there's going to be a breaking point where we need to consider pulling out before our initial investment cannot be recovered. If only to ensure everybody involved in this affair doesn't go bankrupt. The knot in my stomach turns. The idea of completely draining Percy's finances, well, his plan for that money was to turn it over to charity upon his death. And here I'd convinced him to invest in my boondoggle of an arcade in the twilight years of his life. Something of a grim thought, isn't it? But let's not dwell on the negative, shall we? No point giving up the fight so soon after it begins. What we need is a plan for how we can turn these ill fortunes around. What are our next steps? Next steps? I can barely take a step with these crutches. Honestly, I'm not sure what we do next. I need time to think. By all means, think away. And if all else fails, well, at least you've still got your health. Ah, hold that thought. We've got a customer. Hello, welcome to... Good morning. I think I'll be moving along now. Moopy to play and all. Remember your health, Ari, and try to avoid stress in the next few minutes. I stood there in silence and shock. I tried telling myself that this was just a bad fever dream from my wound, but no such luck. This was 100% real. I watch as Deco takes a look around the arcade, his smug grin ever present. I see his eyebrow arch as he takes note of the people, or rather the lack of people here playing games.
Such a shame.
Can't
Such a
say
shame.
I'm surprised in the slightest. Why would anyone want to come to such a mediocre arcade when the premium Deco's Palace experience is available to them? I'd estimate you have, maybe a month at least, best, before you close down. I'm looking forward to purchasing this land. Maybe I'll make it a fun zone, or just a parking lot. Yes, a parking lot, and I shall call it the Cater Memorial Parking Lot. It would be a fitting tribute. I'm not dead yet. You open an arcade in the middle of gang territory. It's a reasonable assumption you'll collect a few more bullets along the way. Nope, I can't handle this. Not today. What do you want, Mr. Nami? If you need tokens, the change machine's over there.
A pity, is it not?
Tokens? How quaint. Still no swipe cards, eh? Sadly, I'm not here to play any of your antiques. Rather resembles a 1980X junkyard in here, doesn't it? All these obsolete games that no one truly cares about. No, I'm here.
to make one final offer. This is against my better judgment, given the bad blood between us. But let it not be said that Deco Nami is an unforgiving or cruel person. If you sign over ownership of this arcade to me, I'll spare your careers.
Oh boy.
Yes, even Miss Fairchild and Miss Wolf. I'm sure I can find something for them to do at one of my facilities. You should count yourself lucky I'm even willing to do this. You get an opportunity few others who cross me are ever offered. If you don't agree to my terms, I'll stand idle and watch as everything burns down around you. You have my word on that.
Okay, obviously, I want to say no to this fabulous offer. But at what point do I cut my losses? Miss Francine believed in dreams, but she also believed in practicality and trade-offs. Am I ready to give up everything so that I have something resembling a future? No, I'm never giving up my dreams. Of course I'm not giving up. I mean, seriously, I had so many opportunities to jump ship prior to this. Why would I bail this close to the end? Also, number 2. I'm sorry, but Starcade is my dream. The dream I share with all of my friends. There's no way I can sell out that dream. I appreciate the offer, but I must decline. I see. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I'd say I admire your dedication and optimism, but honestly, I don't. Real life really rewards the optimist. Until you learn how to approach life in pragmatic fashion, I'm afraid you're destined for failure, time and time again. But, as you like, it's your decision to make.
So be it.
So be it. I guess I'll just have to settle for buying the burnt-out husk of your business once it ultimately collapses around you. I think you underestimate the damage being associated with the criminal element can do, Mixcator. It's enough to ruin even the mightiest of arcades. Oh, and I doubt the ghost monsters have forgotten you. They will return, and they will make matters far worse for you. And immediately, I take notice. Play it cool. Play it cool. Don't let on. Just test the waters. Really? Ghost monsters? I thought that gang was called Lovely Chainsaw or something.
A foolish fool.
Yes, ghost monsters. Sadly, they insist on naming themselves after that absurd ancient video game reference. Of all the childish, immature... He shakes it off quickly enough, refocusing on me. But enough banter. I believe I'll take my leave. I'll not see you again, Miss Cater. I'll let my lawyers handle what little will remain of you. Good day. Once he's out of earshot and well behind the confines of the arcade, I pull out my phone to verify something. Iris, you checked all the news articles about the shooting, right? Oh, yes, I've analyzed them all. Did you need me to pull up a specific one? Just confirm something for me. The ghost monsters were never mentioned by name in any of them, right? Yes, it seems Sue's friends are good at covering their tracks. Why? This is it. This is the chance we need. Admittedly, it's a slim chance, but at this point, I'll take what I can get. Message everyone. I'm calling another Wake Dervenspiracy.
Hooray!
Ooh, you're all fired up! Okay, message is sent. I'll need everyone's help to fill in gaping holes in my plan, but at least now, I have a plan. It's time for one last-ditch effort to save Starcade. Packing everybody into the employee break room proved tricky. Standing room only, elbow to elbow, but somehow we managed it.
Hi!
Hi everybody, glad I could be here for this, whatever this is. Thanks for coming, Juniper. This was it. This was where we'd make our last stand. I looked around the room, at everyone, at all my friends, and nodded to each of them determinedly. Okay, I know things are rough, but I've got, let's say, a good 60 to 80% of a plan for how we can turn things around. Like, we can all agree what happened wasn't our fault, yes? Someone else screwed us over. Every problem we faced could be traced back to them. The ghost monsters and Lovely Chainsaw may be to blame, but the court of public opinion puts the blame squarely on our shoulders. Our venue is tainted by their actions. We can cry foul all we like, but if there's even a chance of violence returning to our doorstep, it'll keep customers away. It's a real bummer. We haven't seen any families here since opening day. Parents just aren't willing to take their children somewhere that's known for being dangerous. Actually, I wasn't talking about the gangs. Today, I learned who our true enemy is, and that person is Deco Nami.
Pardon me?
Pardon? Deco Nami? I don't follow. Yes, I'm rather miffed over what happened to the Funplex, but he's hardly to blame for our current woes, right? Earlier, when he was taunting me, he slipped, mentioning the ghost monsters by name. Except those hackers keep their noses clean. They left us with no proof that they were even involved thanks to our security cameras being wiped. The cops didn't go after them. The news didn't identify them. So, how did Deco know about them? Answer: Deco hired the ghost monsters to ruin our opening day.
What?
What? Seriously? In hindsight, it should have been obvious. I blame myself for not seeing it sooner. Far too many coincidences to be otherwise, and the fact that they only started wreaking havoc once Mrs. Defame showed up to bear witness. I can see what you're throwing down, Ari. Sue and her friends didn't seem awful at first. I remember talking to Clyde. They were really nice and friendly. And then Mrs. Defame showed and... Oh my gosh, wait! Do you think Mrs. Defame is involved? Considering she was willing to hold back her review, I don't think she's knowingly involved, but Deco may have gotten wind she'd be showing up and took advantage.
What if?
But you don't think Deco wouldn't stoop that low, right? Hiring some random street gang to mess with us, would he? Oh, he would. He's a spiteful bastard. Of course he'd try to ruin our opening day. The only reason he didn't destroy Miss Francine was out of some sort of weird gentlemanly respect for a fellow elder business owner. But to Deco Nami, Ari is basically Ponsko. Thanks. To be fair, I doubt he orchestrated the bullet-riddled finale of the evening. That pushes plausibility. True, he wouldn't have even needed a shooting to ruin us. The negative review alone would have done the job. Being even slightly associated with the gang would have been awful. If Mrs. Defame reported us as a hotbed of teenage chaos, a living reenactment of Lord of the Flies, it'd spell doom even without bullets flying around. I guess we're lucky she held her review back. The problem is, we have no proof of this, do we? No way to tie Deco back to the ghost monsters other than him slipping up and mentioning them to Ari. I doubt he ever admit to this on the record. Iris hasn't been able to dig up any digital evidence, although there's our eyewitness testimony, which should be enough to warrant some investigation. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to be enough for the police. I know a few of the local cops and how they think. If they're not looking into the ghost monsters, odds are they're actually looking into the ghost monsters quietly. Which admittedly doesn't help us in clearing our name. And it's too much to hope that Deco simply confesses to orchestrating the incident which ruined us.
Come on!
Ugh, that slimy bastard's not getting away with this. I'll beat the truth out of him if I have to. As amusing as that would be, I wouldn't suggest it, love. We need to be smart about this and undermine him rather than take the direct approach. You mentioned having most of a plan, Ari. Care to elaborate? Well, if Deco won't confess his sins, we need the next best thing. We need his henchmen to flip on him. See, I sensed some tension from Deco about the ghost monsters. He called them childish and immature. There may be some bad blood between them. How about we break up their partnership? My plan is to track down the ghost monsters, get them to turn on their employer, and confess to their crimes. Once the media hears it from Sue herself that the incident was all thanks to Deco's scheming, it'll clear the good name of Starcade. This plan is foolproof. I'm answered with a myriad of blank stares and blinks. Don't everybody congratulate me all at once now. Okay, so this isn't really me criticizing, but your plan, kinda sucks. You want us to track down a bunch of hackers we already can't find, and then ask them politely to betray the guy who's paying them a lot of money? Between this and the shooting, I'm worried your health insurance premiums are about to go through the roof, Ari. That's why I said it was maybe 60% of a good plan. Look, we don't have a lot of options, people. Right now, the only ones who can save us are the ones who ruined us, Deco and Sue. I'm confident that if I can find Sue and talk to her, I can get her to see reason. It's true, Ari was willing to give them another chance and hear out their side of things before. Sue really seems to like Starcade. If there's some disagreement between her and Deco about our arcade, that could be why. Exactly. I think I can get through to her if I try. This hinges on our ability to find Sue, find an unfindable bunch of ghosts one's Iris can't even track down, and that's where you all come in. All options on the table. I want you to hear your ideas for how we find Deco's hired goons. Let's fill in the other 40% of my plan and make this happen. And awkward glances back and forth are all I get in return. I get why they're concerned. This is the slimmest of hopes, the narrowest of margins. I'm asking them to follow me on a hunch. But I know this can be done. I know I can get Sue to give us the dirt we need to clear our name. Heck, some days it feels like all I do is talk my way through problems. If that's my one special skill, I'm going to rely on this for this final conflict. Now, if we could just find her. For that, I need their help. And that means I need to motivate them, like a true leader would. Option 2. No idea is too wacky for me. Show up at Sue's doorstep claiming to be from a sweepstakes and she may already be a winner? Sure, why not? Find a radioactive spider to bite us so we can tie criminals up just like flies? Sounds good here's. Elaborate heist sequence requiring a herd of elephants, 2 blimps, and 84 feet of lubricated rubber tubing? Absolutely. Between all of us putting our heads together, we've got enough brain cells to light up Chicago. We can do this. We can do this. Who's with me? You've got moxie, kid. I'm in. Well, you only live once. Suppose I could contribute what I can. Now we're talking. The wildest dance moves are always the hottest. Everyone nods in agreement, and I can even see some smiles start to appear. We're all on board. Now, to just determine the how of the plan. Decision: finding the ghost monsters.
Perhaps.
At risk of stating the obvious, why don't we talk to the police about this? They've proven unhelpful so far, but if we go down to the station and fully explain our situation, we may be able to gain the information we need. I feel this would be a reasonably steady course of action. I'm not certain about showing up and just asking for them to open their files to us, but you're correct, the police would have the information we need. Except cybercrime is a sticky situation. You have to control leaks. If they're looking into the ghost monsters, they won't just tell us outright. The key is talking to the right people. I know most of the cops at Ben and Matt's Donut Shop by name, and I know one friendly officer that'll help us.
Nope, no way.
Why get the cops involved? We already know someone who's got an axe to grind against Sue and her buddies. Or rather, a chainsaw. That's right, Queen Bee, we can ask the lovely Chainsaw Gang. They'll be easier to find, and would probably be thrilled to divulge all the dirt they have on the ghost monsters. Or they'll carve us up with switchblades. Could go either way. I'll admit this is a super gutsy move, but if we pull it off, we don't need to involve the authorities at all. This whole situation's a bit too sticky for my liking. Cops and robbers? No thank you. Although, the alternative I'm about to suggest may be stickier still. Ari first met the ghost monsters at Deco's Palace, yes? They're regulars there. So, we investigate Deco's Palace to find someone who knows Sue and her mates. If we can find a good friend of hers and make them understand why we need to speak with Sue, well, we're already on somewhat good terms with Sue thanks to Ari remaining diplomatic about all this. We should keep that going. I'm pretty sure if I showed my face at Deco's palace, it'd be smashed into paste by his private security goons. But my face wouldn't. Deco doesn't know me. I was Funplex adjacent rather than a Funplex regular. And I think the last time I set foot in a Deco's palace was years ago, so I could wander freely with Juniper. Yeah, we could slip in and ask around about Sue without anybody even noticing. I'd say this kindly strategy is an honest appeal to those who may know her. What could be more cordial?
Definitely.
If she's got a single friend in that place, I'll find them. It's a daring mission in enemy territory, but for you, Ari, I'll do it. What are you looking at me for? I don't have any ideas. I mean, well, you could try Googling for her accounts? I'm reasonably sure Iris already tried that. Iris? Yep, I even used Yahoo, Bing, AltaVista, and RebQualler. I have no idea what half of those are. Okay, but that's not really what I meant. I mean, checking online forums for arcade enthusiasts. She loves arcades, right? She may have an account there. I've been rejoining online communities lately to try to open up to like-minded folks and socialize a bit more on my own terms. She's gotta be lurking in one of those places. Oh wait, I know! If we can't passively search for her, we can actively call her out. As much as I hate internet trolls, they do get results. If we taunt the ghost monsters online, well, I'm positive Sue's the sort of person who looks herself up constantly, right?
A winner is you.
Of course, and with my help we can establish fake accounts to spread the message so far and wide that she can't miss it. I'd suggest we use a public internet access point to keep it from being traced back to Starcade, though. Ooh, road trip! Road trip! I can tell from Gavin wincing at this that he's not a fan, but he's not a fan of Iris in general, so...
Good work.
I like this plan, Miss Naomi. It's pretty quirky, but it might just work. Well, I did say I wanted options. Involving the cops after all the semi-shady things we've done is risky. So is provoking a rival gang of armed hooligans. So is infiltrating Deco's palace. So is... Okay, posting a few troll messages isn't that risky given how many social media companies actually adore trolls and nurture them for advertising dollars, but it could annoy Sue. What's the best path forward? But before I can decide, Juniper raises her hand. All of these sound great, but... Ari, you're still recovering from an injury. The less moving around you do, the more likely you'll heal nice and quick. You can't go gallivanting around the city chasing down rumors about the ghost monsters today. I'm just on crutches. I'm not on an iron lung or anything. I'm still mobile. Light duty only. Doctor's orders, remember? But I have a solution to this conundrum. It's simple and super effective. Let us do this for you. You've had to tackle all these problems since joining the Funplex by yourself. Why not step back and let us handle this one? Well... Okay, but I need to be there when we finally confront Sue. While you're out and about, I guess I'll get some rest so I'm ready for tonight. Sound good? Sounds good! These are my friends. I trust them entirely. So now, the only question is, which plan do I want to give my Ari seal of approval? 4 choices? And we are going for... Choice 2, talk to the lovely chainsaws as Queen Bee and Ashley. If we want this to succeed, I think our best bet is to take bets on the lovely chainsaw. Appealing to Sue's rivals may get us just the info we need. Ashley, Queen Bee, since you were both the most excited about tussling with a rival gang, I'm putting you two in charge. Have you looked at us, kid? We're both intelligent badass women. We'll be able to infiltrate their ranks. Easy. And we'll make them talk, one way or another. Preferably without violence? Oh yeah, Ari, but I'll bring my prop weapons, for intimidation purposes only. Don't even worry about it, you can totally count on us. I leave it in your capable hands then. And our fists. Alright, so... We've got the lovely chainsaws. Here we go, it's Ashley's time to shine. Ari entrusted this very important mission to us. It's up to me and Queen Bee to triumph against our foes. If we don't succeed, this will spell the end of Starcade as we know it. We can't let Ari down, and not just them, but everyone else too. I refuse to lose. We will do this, and we will find Sue's hideout. I just hope we can find the lovely chainsaw's hideout first. This place is a strip mall of yesteryear. Most of these businesses have been empty for years, and people don't tend to linger in this area for too long. It's rather bleak, what with the boarded up windows and closed signs. The only things not in grayscale are various colorful graffiti tags covering the abandoned walls. But even though it feels like we are walking directly into a death trap, this just might be the coolest thing I'm about to do in my entire life! Hey, Ash? You look a little too happy to be here. Wipe that grin off your face. But we're about to sneak into the lovely Chainsaw's hangout spot, enter into a game of wits and strength, and force them to divulge dirt on their rival gang. Yes, we are Ashley now. What could be more awesome than that? Living to tell the tale? I appreciate your enthusiasm, Ash, truly. But we also have to keep our heads about us. I don't want either of us ending up in the hospital like our fearless leader. Or worse. By the way, what was that about prop weapons back at Starcade? I fling the duffel bag over my shoulder and gently place it on the ground. Oh, these are all from past cosplays. I brought a ton of them. Are all different types, too.
Not bad.
I doubt a foam sword will help much against their super real guns, but what the hell, it'll help me project confidence. Queen Bee shuffles through my bag. I hope she's using the utmost care with them. I spent, I don't know how many hours sanding, painting, gluing, and molding each and every one of those. Eventually, she pulls out a battle axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about it. How cool do I look wielding this? The coolest. I grin widely as Queen Bee poses with a two-handled axe. Honestly, I don't think she could have chosen a more appropriate weapon. It fits her perfectly. I take another minute to rifle through my stash and pull out the Magical Girl wand for my Starcade mascot outfit. I'm here to represent. Arms brandishing, ready for action, I look around the strip mall. And I'm lost. So now what? How are we supposed to do this? That newbie FOD player I was chatting with told me that the lovely Chainsaw typically hangs out here during the day. Right, step 1 is complete. We're already here. What's step 2? You see the remains of that coffee shop? Newbie informed me that's the exact location of where they meet up. Is that where they do illicit drugs, have fight clubs, drink themselves into a stupor? Probably nothing quite that Hollywood, but hey, who knows? Let's get this party started. There's no turning back now. We smile at each other, ready for the battle ahead, sisters in arms. Rounding the bed of the forgotten coffee house, instantly, we see them. The lovely Chainsaw. We don't even make in another 2 feet before we have a gaggle of very irate schoolgirls glaring us down. The one who claimed to be their leader back at Starcade steps forward, motioning for the rest to stay put, while she does the introductions. Halt! Who goes there? I'm Ashley? And I'm one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, Queen Bee, professional badass and Fist of Discomfort champion. We're from Starcade. Everyone around here calls me Mel. And what the are you doing in my territory? It looks like a couple of wayward girls lost their way home. We know exactly where we are, and we came to speak to you. Yeah, it's a shame, really. I'm not up for casual conversation. The leader flicks her wrist, and 2 of her lackeys charge us, weapons in hand. I hold up my fake staff, shaking. Queen Bee steps in front of me, tightly gripping her battle axe. We're after Sue and the ghost monsters. We have a bone to pick with them. You know, the one you took a pot shot at the other day? Mel's expression turns from grimace to grin. Zay, Nick, stop. Yes, Mel. After the ghost monsters, you say? Those brats. Mel spits the taste of their rivals out of her mouth. Sush thinks she runs this town. That her little band of credit card thieves and blackmailers has any real clout. If not for her muscles, she'd be nothing. She doesn't have the guts to do to me what I'd do to her. Guessing she leaned on you, threatening ruin? Typical poser. Exactly. They upped our arcade and we want revenge. Yeah. Okay, you've piqued my interest. Go on. The only problem is we don't know where they are. I know you ladies desperately want to get your hands on the ghost monsters but can't due to your high profile. So I propose a temporary partnership. You tell us where Sue's hideout is. We sneak in, take care of them for you, and they won't be bothering you after we're done with them. Fascinating. Mel looks down at her hand, examining her nails, as if they're way more important and interesting than anything we have to say. Girls, I'm afraid you're going to have to sweeten that offer. If I tell you this information, I want something else. Something to prove your loyalty to the lovely Chainsaw. Apparently, we can't get the details of the hideout without some sort of exchange. Oh gosh, we're in quite the pickle right now. I've got to think of something fast. What would Ari do in this situation? Okay. Option 2. Come on, Ashley, what do gangs trade in? Besides violence or drugs, it's always information. I propose an exchange of information. I'll let you know a little secret, and then we can know your secret. Mel looks me over from head to toe and takes a moment to mull it over. I don't normally give two craps about gossip, but I suppose the right information can be worth more than anything you could offer me monetarily. Your offer intrigues me. I accept. I don't know much about Sue except from what Ari just told us. I hope that's enough. Word on the street is that Sue and her ghost monsters are connected to the arcade industry's megalomaniac, Deco Nami. Mel's frown twists into an amused smile. I'd call that an interesting tidbit, except I already knew that. What? I prefer getting hands-on, but I hoard a few secrets just to be safe. Still, it's curious how you figured out that particular secret. How about you trade me the how rather than the what? Oh, well, we think Deco used her to wreck our new arcade's opening day. He hates our guts and wants us to go out of business. Huh, the high and mighty Sue, a hit woman for hire. Figures. Well, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. I think we can do business. I breathe a huge sigh of relief. Phew! I wasn't sure that was gonna work. How does Ari do this all the time? You two girls have thoroughly impressed me. It takes a lot of bravery to come here and face us. As I reel in my disbelief, Mel motions for her two lackeys to come forward. Zay, why don't you tell the girls where those wretched ghost monsters hang out? There's a warehouse on the edge of town, owned by some corp called Nostalgia Commodities. You'll find them there.
Not bad.
Excellent. Thank you. I like both of you. You showed me guts and charisma, both qualities the late lovely Chainsaw specialize in. If you ever want to join our motley crew, you know where to find me. Before I can say anything, Queen Bee grabs a hold of my sleeve and pulls me to her side. We appreciate the offer, but we're good here. Suit yourself, ladies. But before you go, and because you've impressed me so, she flashes us the most wicked grin. It sends shivers down my spine. I'll let you in on another juicy bit of info, free of charge. Mel snaps and both Zay and Nick stand to attention. Tell her, Nick. The one with the chain loosens her grip on that weapon before coming over to my side. Leaning over, she whispers into my ear, and my eyes go wide.
Oh my gosh!
Consider it a parting gift. Now go. But seriously, if you don't get off my turf, I'll be forced to bash those pretty little skulls in. Without another word, I nod dumbfoundedly, and both Queen Bee and I hightail it out of there. Once we're out of earshot, we take a minute to compose ourselves. What was that about? What did she say? Oh, it's juicy. Real juicy. I'll fill you in once we're in the car and safely out of here. We actually did it. Not that I doubted us for a second. Okay, maybe I did, but it was only for like 3 seconds. With the information in hand and another bit of gossip, I can't wait to share it with Ari. This might be the grain of rice that tips the scale in our flavor. I awaken to the sounds of pain, more specifically the groans of pain escaping from my own throat. Apparently getting shot in the leg hurts. Hurts a lot, and sleeping on the second-hand employee couch probably not the finest choice for rest. The nap was a definite necessity, however I'm not operating at full speed anymore and won't for a few weeks to come. But sleep didn't make my muscles any less achy. If anything, I've got a headache on top of it. Joy of joys. But right now, I got 99 problems and my physical condition ain't one. The fate of Starcade is what matters most.
Beep, beep.
Beep beep, Ari, you should probably be getting up now. I'm up. Goody. So, have you given any thought how you're going to win over Sue's favor once you go confront her? Well, usually I just sort of stumble through these things and decide stuff like that on the fly. Ooh, that's no good. You know those intense identity situations I've been tracking? The ones where you can't take certain approaches that don't mesh with your personality? What, like where I can't make nice if I'm too impulsive of a person? Well, it's not so much that you can't, more that you shouldn't try something that goes against who you are as a person. People will see right through it. And I'm betting Sue will know if you're play acting at something you aren't. This will be a super intense identity situation, only one way through. When the time comes, you're going to have to take a stand based on your highest personality score. Ugh, not more numbers and systems. It's for your own good, Ari. I'm just trying to help you make decisions that will save Starcade, and that means being true to your spirit. And what's that mean exactly? According to my calculations, right now your best bet for how to convince Sue is to be gutsy. You act on instinct, without fear, without caution. You're going to need to charge in there and do what you gotta do. And if I don't want to take that approach? It's a bit late to change who you are as a person, Ari. Remember, my numbers and scores only help me understand who you are. Who you are is who you've chosen to be. It's a causal relationship. But with the help of your friends, you can maybe get some ideas, nudge things around a bit until you feel confident taking a different tactic than your usual one. Speaking of your friends, here's one now. Hey, feeling all right? Once again, Teo shows up holding a bouquet of elegant blossoms. This time it's my second favorite flowers, and I smile in return. He hands them over to me before sitting beside me. You're too sweet. Not as sweet as you, and not as sweet as what I'm about to tell you. Queen Bee and Ashley faced off against the lovely Chainsaw and made it out in one piece, not even a scratch. They're braver than most and got what we needed.
Exactly.
Pretty great, huh? Teo put his hands atop mine and gives a little squeeze. And that's not all, my love. We found out something that puts an interesting twist on this whole debacle. Sue has a last name, and it's an all too familiar one. Oh? Don't stop now. Tell me. Nami. Her real name is Sue Nami. Sue Nami? We'd been assuming all along that the ghost monsters were guns for hire, paid off by Deco Nami to ruin our opening day. But if Sue is actually Deco's daughter... Option 3. Okay, so she's the bastard's daughter. Does this change anything? Maybe she hates Deco and his almighty palace. Maybe I can convince her to stick a knife in his back if I can relate to her on her own level. But whether this makes things easier or harder, well, I'm in it now. No way out but through. Okay, this changes everything. That's what I'm saying. This is an entirely different situation we found ourselves in. Family, for better or worse, makes everything more complicated. If they are anything like my family, it's going to be a hard bond to break. But don't let me fill you with doubt. Not every family is close. If there's anything amiss, you'll be able to spot it and drive a wedge between them. Plus, picking up on subtleties is sort of my thing. You'll have me there to help you, right? Teo squeezes my hands once more, lifting them to his mouth. His lips grace my fingertips with delicate kisses. Teo. Our eyes meet and I melt into him. I know you want to be a part of this, Teo, but I love you too much to put you right in harm's way. Listen, we're partners. We do this together, even if I'm just cheering you on from afar. Don't think you're taking this burden alone. You aren't. I'm right here, and I'm not going anywhere. I can't help but give in. I love you, Teo. Speaking of love and epic battles approaching, I'm more of a lover than a fighter, but I can switch if you need me to. I chuckle lightly, not missing the beat. He smiles coyly in my direction. But seriously, what can I do to aid you right now? What's the plan? Iris told me I only get one chance at this, that I need to go with whatever I do at best, but if I talk this through with someone, maybe I can learn a different path. Honestly, I haven't thought too much about it. I'm open to ideas. How would you handle this? Sue is still very much a teenager, right? And what do teenagers do? Rebel? Precisely. And how do they rebel? By doing what they want when they want. They're all about having fun. Appeal to her sense of adventure and mischief. You're sure to win her over if you act as childish as she will. This isn't like a game of hide and seek. She's smarter and wilder than that. Being silly isn't going to do me any favors on winning her favor. You always know best, Ari. I trust your decision with all my heart. You're amazing, and you'll do great. Teo sweetly gives me a quick kiss on my nose. You take all the time you need. I'll just be waiting for you to say the word. He gives me a wink as he leaves me alone with my thoughts. Well, this is it. Either we sort this mess out, or Starcade crashes and burns. Or I get, killed. I guess that's always an option considering we're about to go confront a street gang that indirectly got me shot in the first place. I don't even want to consider the possibility of death. I'm immortal until proven otherwise. But, well, if this is the end, I should probably have some words with my friends before I march towards doom, if only to get their opinion on how I should approach Sue. Grabbing my crutches, I thump-swing my way out to the arcade proper to track down some folks. Let's see, I've already talked with Teo. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Alright, so in the interests of time, I'm just gonna click on I'm ready to leave. No sense putting it off any longer. I talked to everyone that I wanted to. I gathered as much information as I could. I'm just delaying the inevitable at this point. It's time to do this. For the sake of my future, my dreams, my friends' dreams, and Starcade itself. I take Teo's hand in mine as a soft smile curls my lips. We're ready to depart and face our destiny together. It's a short trip across town, and before we know it, we're standing outside Ghost Monsters HQ, a rundown warehouse in the bad side of town. A wooden sign, long since fallen off the side of the building, identifies it as belonging to Nostalgia Commodities Incorporated. This place isn't too bad, just add in a few doilies, some curtains, and maybe a couple of rose bushes out front. Then we can host a myriad of tea parties here. I don't know why they wouldn't keep up on the upkeep. Can you think of a better place for a street gang to lay low? Odds are Deco owns this building anyway. Correct, Nostalgia Commodities Incorporated is a wholly owned subsidiary of Deco's Palace, LLC. Yeesh, that adds another step to this dance routine. I can't imagine Sue would easily give up her turf, especially when the rent is free. But don't falter, my love. I'm here. I'm cheering you on. As the leader, I'll let you take charge, but if I notice an in, I got your back. Let's not waste any more time. I sigh once, looking over at my companion. I'm sure glad I'm not going at this alone. I'm nervous for sure, but I know what I have to do. I settle down on my crutches, armpits resting on the padding, as I prepare to enter the belly of the beast.
Hey, listen.
Iris, kind of about to be in the middle of something here? I know, and I've spontaneously reprogrammed myself to include a new measurable metric which should be useful for your mission. I call it the Incredibly Right Indicator of Success, or IRIS for short. Hey, when you have a great acronym already, you may as well use it. I'm going to start analyzing Sue's vocal patterns once you step in there to determine how close you are to convincing her. That way, you'll know if you're on the right track or if you need to try something different. Let's take a look at your current score. Currently, you have a 0.0 chance of success. Yay? Well, okay. That's probably a bit disheartening, but think of it like if I walked away right now, I'd fail miserably instead of I'm doomed, doomed, doomed. But speaking of doom, well, since there is a chance you can actually fail this time, rather than be assured that you can mumble your way through the problem, would you like me to back up your data first? You are now ready to proceed. Good luck! Taking a deep breath, I thump-swing my way into the warehouse, on my crutches, with my companion beside me. I don't know what I expected to find on entering the lair of a notorious gang of cybercriminals, but a makeshift arcade that rivals my own was not high on the list. If this is a dumping ground of a warehouse for Deco's industry, it makes sense though. A place where old arcade games go to die, turned into a playland for punks. A disorganized maze of games litters the ground floor, poorly lit and barely functional. Only some of the screens are on, and many have serious ghosting and burn-in. As for the ghost monsters themselves, the good news is they haven't noticed our arrival. As I look up, I can see them on the second floor in the catwalks. Huh, they seem distracted. That's good news. The bad news? They're distracted because they have a visitor.
Unfortunate.
How unfortunate. I have to say, Sue, I'm extremely disappointed in you. It's hard to get a good angle from down here, hidden in the shadows, but it sounds like the old man's ranting at his daughter in his usual passive-aggressive way. I could stay hidden and eavesdrop on their conversation, gather some more information, or I could announce myself and barge in on them. Both are risky. But which makes the most sense for how I'm going to handle the negotiation we're about to have, though?
You understand.
All I
again.
want from you is so very, very little. Just destroy Starcade. Why is it so hard to do what your father wants? Yes, Dad. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, I'm not a fan of all their family psychodrama, and frankly, it bores me. I'm not here to play therapist. I'm here to kick ass! What I need to do is make a lasting impression on Sue, show her that I mean business. Which is admittedly a bit difficult to do while on crutches. So rather than charge up there, I start banging my crutch against the handrail of the stairs leading to her gathering. Ghost monsters! Come out to play! It's time to make amends for what you did to Starcade. Damn, that feels good. Right in line with my usual style. What? If I wanted a reaction, I got one. Immediately, 2 of her goons flank us, ready to pummel us into human goo, before Sue raises a hand to stop them, and I sigh in relief. Come on up, come. I wasn't really prepared to entertain guests. Don't got a pot of tea boiling, but hey, why not? Mi casa es su casa. Sue's weirdly cheerful about this development, while Deco clearly is the opposite of amused. Now's the time to use this moment to my advantage, and I know just what to say. Option 3. Sue, Deco, good to see you. Apologies for barging in at this late hour, but you're a little difficult to track down, I've found. Deco's face twists into a grotesque blend of anger and fear. What in the hell? I can't be seen here if any record ends up online. Jeez, Dad, relax. Clyde? On cue, Clyde steps out from the shadows, their fingers dancing over their phone as they concentrate on the screen. Both of them have phones, one has an Iris Assistant loaded. We're blocking their outgoing data streams. There should be no verifiable data evidence of this conversation uploaded anywhere. I can't stop Ari's Iris from hearing you, but I can hijack their account if you need me to, so we can manually wipe her memory. Just say the word. We'll see. Thanks, Clyde. Clyde nods in agreement, backing out of the spotlight. Happy now, Dad? You're clear. Quit freaking out.
As you like.
Not that it matters, my business with this Mix Cater is already concluded. I was more than courteous to you and you spat in my face. It's clear we will never see eye to eye and I have nothing more to say to you. Actually, we're not here to talk to you. I came here tonight to have a chat with... your daughter. Timing is everything. How did you...
Well, you're a resourceful one. A squeaky clean arcade industry titan can't let anyone know about his hooligan daughter, can he? No. So I've had to keep that under wraps. Good work sleuthing it out. You know, honestly, I like you. I like your arcade. It's super rad. And I appreciate you didn't just kick me out. You were willing to give me a second chance. I didn't want to trash your big moment, but... well...
She casts a sidelong glance at her father.
Didn't exactly have a choice, did I?
I didn't want to come back and cause you more trouble after that, so I stayed away, figuring I'd done what I had to do and could leave it at that. But you didn't finish the job. Starcade still stands. Not that it matters, I suppose, nor does this little last-ditch effort to save it. I see your game, Mix Cater. It's as obvious as the sad little strategic moves you made so far to keep your arcades afloat. Sadly, nothing you say or do will save Starcade from my inevitable takeover. This is simply how the industry works. Now, Sue, it's time you finish what you started. Sue shifts her attention from her father back to me. It's hard to read what she's thinking, but I have to think of something to calm the tension. I step forward, my fists clenched, ready. But before words escape me, someone is by my side. Whoa, slow down there, tough guy. You being here is totally cramping your daughter's style. Right, Sue? We need to liven this party up. Let's bring in some music, a catered buffet, drinks, and maybe kick your dad out.
Seriously? If you think you could come here and convince my daughter to turn on me, you're sorely mistaken. Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. She knows I'm the one she can rely on at all times. Without me, what is she? Just a simple thief with simple friends.
The ghost monsters exchange glances with each other, frowning and rolling their eyes, but they don't utter a word or move against Deco. They clearly want to pounce, but hold themselves back.
But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. Oh, and I also put a roof over her head, feed her, and clothe her. I spare no expense. In other words, she knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice. After all, Father knows best. Father knows all. And in the world of arcades, Dekonami knows and controls all. You can't stop that. You can't fight it. And you can't win. Sue, if you would kindly show our friend the exit, as forcefully as you like, perhaps make a game of it. See if your buddies can wreck the other leg.
Seriously? Vindictive much? Do it. Ugh, fine. Inky, Pinky, bounce them both. With a flick of the wrist, Sue gestures for her buddies to make us into street pizza. This is it. This is the moment. I need to say something that will convince Sue to do the impossible, to flip on her control freak father. And it has to be something absolutely true to my core, to who I've become as a person. It's time for Ari Cater to pull one more rabbit out of a hat. You know what? This. I came here to fight. I'm not scared of Deco or his goons, and I know Sue's just like me, someone who won't back down when challenged. So all I need to do is issue the right challenge, in the right way, and I think I know how to do it. How disappointing. You disappoint me, Sue. You just say to me? Someone walks into your place of power and throws down the gauntlet, and what do? You just get your boys to beat me up and toss me. You know, the easy solution, hardly one befitting a hacker and arcade master. But hey, you want to be a lazy bones and take the safest option, go ahead. Hide behind Daddy and your muscle if you won't face me yourself. But I am disappointed. I thought you were a gamer. I thought you came to play. And Sue raises a hand to stop the ghost monsters before they can grab me.
Bad idea, friend.
Don't think
Bad
I don't
idea.
know what you're up to. You're trying to taunt me into some kind of confrontation. Bruise my ego enough that I'll be willing to deal with this myself. And is it working? And Sue smirks at me as if sharing a little inside joke. She knows that I know that she knows what I'm trying to do, and that's okay in her book. Challenge accepted. What? This meddlesome pest is beneath you, Sue. Just kick them out and... Cram it with walnuts, old man. This is a matter of gamer pride. You never understood the spirit of an arcade master, Pops. It burns like neon fire, like a raging glix of pitch skulls smeared across an old CRT screen. Ari wants to challenge me as a gamer? Then challenge accepted. And that's how it's going to be. You cannot be serious. Inky, Blinky, keep Daddy dearest company while the boss lady takes care of this matter personally. Clyde, you're with me. Ari, you can keep your little assistant with you. No advantages that way. Now, let's get down to the factory floor and settle this matter, shall we? Curious where this is going, the four of us descend the steps down to the maze of arcade games below. The arcade is a complete mess. Broken, janky games, dead monitors, a mess of power cables and neon lights all over the place. If not for the bright lights, this would be spoopy beyond belief. The sickly, broken warbles of a dozen half-dead games like the wailing of the digital damned. Welcome to my pride and joy, the Ghost Monster Arcade. Spent a lot of time putting this together, laying it out exactly how I wanted it. We're not as skilled as your crew at maintaining the games, but hey, we love it all the same. Well, it's very you. I'm sure it has some deep metaphorical meaning underneath the surface. Nah, we pretty much laid it out just like Pac-Man. Although I guess it's something of a mission statement to say, we like Pac-Man. Or actually, yeah, like we're a game within a game, right? It's so meta. I'm tempted to have you run the Fever Challenge, get hunted down by my boys through my maze of twisty little passages all alike. Oh, I know what that comes from. But no, we do this one-on-one. I'm challenging you to a game. Winner take all. Meaning, if I beat you at an arcade game, you'll ditch Deco and join me. And if I beat you, your ass is out the door with nothing. What's more, I'll let you pick the game. Provided I've got a copy of it in working order here, we'll be good to go. In that case, shall I show you how I throw down on Showtime stage? Any song you like from any revision of the game, any step chart. any modifiers, any difficult level. Nah, I'm challenging Ari, not you. You're just here for moral support, like Clyde is for me. Hardly fair for me to go up against a professional gamer at their favorite game, is it? If we play it fair. Are you sure you don't want me to show me your moves? Nope, we'll save it for next time then. So what's it gonna be, huh? What's your game of choice? Clyde's memorized the location of every game in this joint. Just name it, we'll find it. And here's where my plan hits a bit of a speed bump. Because compared to the amazing gamers of Starcade, I'm pretty mediocre at arcade action. And it sounds like Sue's mastered everything under this roof. Wait, maybe I can drag them back to Starcade if I pick that game. Home Field Advantage. I challenge you to Phrase Invaders. Whoa, obscure. Indeed, only a few of them were ever made. Fortunately, I happen to own one. So, if you'd like to follow us back to Starcade... Excellent choice. Right this way, please. What? Dumbfounded, I follow the teenager in orange around the corner and right up to... Phrase Invaders? Where in the heck did you manage to find an ultra-rare prototype of Phrase Invaders? It was completely by luck that we even have Phrase Invaders and Sue has one too? The chances of 2 cabinets being in the same city? It's unbelievable. Oh, Daddy Dearest gets all sorts of rare one-off games and prototypes for field play testing or as promotional freebies, and then he junks them in my junkyard. I believe this game is still in working order. It should be fine for this challenge. Okay, so no home court advantage, but at least I know Sue can't possibly be an expert at Phrase Invaders, right? And with practice eased, Sue warms up by mashing out the first 3 lines of Moby Dick on the game's keyboard in about 5 seconds flat. Haven't you seen any Hollywood movie about hackers? All we do all day is mildly mash keys. It's kind of our thing. You think you can stand up to this peg leg? On second thought, Clyde, get Ari a comfy stool to sit on. No unfair advantages. Yes, Sue. Soon enough, a super comfy bar stool is produced. Can't even claim it was some rickety piece of crap. This is clearly one of the best seats in the house. With a sinking feeling, I position it under me and get ready to go. You'll be playing 2-player competitive typing. First to complete a word scores the word and zaps the alien. Highest score wins. Dang. I don't think I've ever actually played this 2-player. I didn't realize that player 2 could finish a word faster than you and steal it. Can't show worry, can't show fear. Gotta be ready to dominate. Suits me. They don't call me the golden-fingered kid for nothing. I'm the fastest typist in the Westest. Does anyone seriously call you that? Well, no, but they could. Typists, to your keyboards. I adjust myself on my stool to plant my fingers at the ready over the home row. Sue does the same, although she's far more loose and relaxed. And game start. And before I can even finish reading the first 3 words on the screen, Sue's mashed out raised, stairs, and awake. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I too fast for the golden-fingered kid? Or are you now the golden oldie type McGolders person? Not too late, too quick, you know. Head home, change your adult diapers, eat some oatmeal. Okay, so apparently trash talk is the real game to be played. Good. My vocabulary extends well past a typing game's built-in dictionary. I'ma make you get off my lawn, kid, cause you ain't on my level. You score 3 whole points and you think you're on my level? Got news for you, kiddo. You're so far under my level that you better not come up too fast, you'll get the bends. Doesn't matter if I'm older. I'm better, faster, stronger, and I came to play. So leave the age quips at the door and watch how I roll. Over you, specifically. Oh ho, someone did come to play. Damn it, heck, took my eye off the ball. That distracted her. Okay, good. I think I'm seeing how I can win this, despite going head-to-head with an elite hacker. Or elite hacker, even. The 2 of us smash down wave after wave of aliens, each bearing their own unique word. She steals a few, I steal a few. The clacking of the ancient plastic keyboards echoes through the warehouse. I don't think trash talk alone will win this. I need to be snarky and lively with the keys. Play things smart. How can I get an edge? Start reciting random words to distract her. Rutabaga, revenge, rewind, spatula, nasal, rotation, raincoat, secondary, side effects. What are you doing? Please tell me you know how to read without moving your lips. Nope, it's not shaking her. What's more, all I've done is distract myself. When I do pull my attention back to the game, I've let a few words slip and mistyped 2 more. Problem with having a random spew of words in your train of thought is that it derails your own train of thought. I'm going to need to focus. Finally, after 2 solid minutes of frenetic typing, we come to the end of a round and can rest while the badly pixelated cutscene plays. You're not bad, you know.
See?
It's not often I
You
meet
get it?
someone who can go toe-to-toe with me in my natural element. What, arcade gaming? Nah. I love arcades, yeah, but I meant computers. I've been a computeraholic ever since I was a little girl, and someone had the stones to tell me girls shouldn't be into computers. Decided right there then I'd be so into computers that one day I'd make the next big computery thing, get stupid rich, buy that kid's house, and burn it to the ground. 3 cheers for motivational spite. Hip hip hooray. For a moment there, the 2 of us forget we're supposed to be at each other's throats, and are just enjoying the simple pleasure of competing in a game. Hey, Teo? You're their main squeeze, right? They as good in the sack as they are at arcade games? Woo! Oh my, a gentleman such as myself would never divulge such sensitive information. In fact, Ari is the most sensitive, caring, wonderful, amazing, attractive, intelligent, tempting, passionate person I know. I'm so happy to have them in my life. Wait, what were we talking about? I got distracted by my unyielding love for Ari. I had no idea you were dating a greeting card. Teo, what happened to all your sultry, flirty, naughty vibes which I could have really used just now? Oh, that's just when I'm being playful. I thought this was serious time. I know you can do this even without my flirtations. I believe in you too, Sue. You can beat Ari. You're the best at everything you do. You're so cool and exciting and wonderful and I like you lots. Yeah, got it. Thanks a bunch, Clyde. Break time's over, game time's back on. Clyde steps away a bit disappointed that she got distracted. That short break took me out of my typing fugue. Fortunately, it seems to have distracted Sue as well, as we both miss a few words. But she's recovering. And if I want to win, I need to keep her off her game. Easiest way is to keep the conversation going. Woo, we're going for the throat. Sue may have missed Clyde's reaction, but I sure didn't. And given how Sue feels about her friends, maybe that can be leverage. You know, if you beat me, you stay under Deco's thumb. Can't call that much of a victory. But you won't be the only one under that thumb. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde will be stuck here with you. You leave my friends out of this. This is a challenge between me and you. You and me, and that's it. Why? They're involved. You side with me, they'll be free. You side with Deco, and they're all slaves to him. If he can crush you at a moment's notice, imagine what he can do to them. Imagine what he'll do to Clyde if he figures out how Clyde feels about you. Don't pay attention. Keep fighting, Sue. I believe in you. But Sue's play falters as she grits her teeth, trying to put the thought out of her head and failing. I'm doing this for them.
Yeah,
You don't
this
think
sucks.
I don't know how we're all on the hook. I have to keep them safe. If I backstab Deco, they're in danger. You just told me why I shouldn't leave his side. And Clyde knows what's what. Right, Clyde? Right. Not sure the kid wants to speak up. Maybe I should push them. Why not ask them? Clyde, who do you want Sue to ally with? Her abusive father or me, the only one who's telling her she's strong enough to do this by herself? And leave Clyde out of this! I want her to be happy. All I've ever wanted is for Sue to be happy, but she's never going to be happy, not with her father treating her like an errand girl. Clyde! Sue, I'm serious. You've been miserable ever since he started relying on you more and more to deal with his rivals. This has to stop. It just has to. Just please think about it. And the talkative Sue falls silent, which is probably a good sign. An ancient 8-bit warning klaxon drags my attention back to the game. A giant, upscaled UFO sprite slides onto screen and starts bombarding us with some words that annihilate your opponent at Scrabble. The time for smack talk is over. Our scores are too close to call at this point. I need to go over the top. Honestly, I'm not sure how to optimize my score when playing competitively. I usually just roll with this sort of thing on instinct, but I have a few options. At times, desperate measures. With one hand, I peck out my word, while the other accidentally reaches over to poke a few of Sue's keys, causing her to typo and fail at the word she's zapping. Hey, quit that! All's fair in love and war. Yeah, I don't love you, and despite being a heated contest, this ain't a war, and that's cheating. Fat lot of good it did you anyway, you just bungled your word. Crap, she's right. Neither of us scored, so now neither of us really pulled out ahead. All I did was annoy the person I'm trying to ally with. Okay, so not a good move, but I could still win this. I refocus and smash out the last few words of the game, trying to push my score up. The arcade fills with the sounds of furious typing until the giant enemy UFO finally explodes in a pixelated blast of color, and the game is over. As for the final scores, well, wow, good game. Seriously, good game. How about that we rejoin the others and tell them how it went? With my fingers sore from all that intense typing action, I pull away from the keys and depart for the stairs to the observation deck. It was a hard-fought battle, to be sure, and let it never be said the ghost monsters backed down from a challenge. We both put everything on the line, honor, pride, and our futures. And as for the results, who reigned supreme at Phrase Invaders? Yeah.
I got pwned. For reals. A win's a win, and a deal's a deal.
What?
You know, you've been honest with me and willing to put up with a staggering amount of my childish bull. That shows character. Shows strength. Shows a hell of a lot more strength of character than my father's ever managed, in fact. I think we can do business. You want to save your arcade? I've got the evidence you need to stick Daddy Dearest behind bars for the rest of his life. Every dirty deal I've ever helped him carry out. And believe you me, that's a lot of extremely filthy deeds.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap?
You can't do this! I forbid it! You are my daughter, and if I go down, you're coming with me.
Really? I think I can spin this entire mess as your fault.
I'd like to see you try, you ignorant brat. You're a career criminal, incorrigible to the end. What possible proof could you offer up of your innocence?
Sue snaps her fingers and points to my phone.
Oh, Iris, would you kindly?
Sure thing, Miss Sue. And from my speaker, a perfect audio recording of Deco's earlier self-incriminating words.
Who knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. She knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice.
Golly, that sure smells like corruption of a minor and blackmail to me. And once I do my hair in pigtails and offer a jury big puppy dog eyes, oh, my mean old dad forced me into a life of crime. Well, what do you think happens next?
No, that's impossible. You said you blocked all recording devices. I said I couldn't block Iris from functioning, just block her from uploading her recordings anywhere. She was still listening this whole time. You can go ahead and remove the data block now, Clyde. Already done. I've also loaded a press kit based on our Dekonami archives to 5 major newspapers, 11 websites, ESPN, Esports Center, and HGTV. Home and Garden Television? I figured the two guys from Arcade Flippers might be interested. I really like that show. With that settled, Sue turns a smug, satisfied smile towards her doomed father.
Welcome to the Ides of March, Dad. You want to get me in trouble too? You feel free. At worst, I'll do a year or 2 in juvie. But you're gonna bleed out on the floor by the time I'm through.
Inky, Blinky. Yeah, boss? Show my father the door, gently. Don't leave any marks, at least.
No! No! This is completely unacceptable! I am your father! I'm Dekonami! I am the arcade business!
Inky and Blinky easily restrain Deco by the arms, but I just can't let him go without having my 2 cents. I put on an expression so smug it could smother a city. So basically Anya from Spy Family. Game over, Deco. You lose.
You impudent, insignificant little...
Are you still here? Not for long.
I haven't lost. I can still fight this. I can still...
And the ghost monsters remove Deco from our sights. Instantly, the entire atmosphere of the place changes, as if a great weight has lifted. I couldn't be more relieved, and I relax into a sigh. Not gonna lie, the next few days will be interesting, to say the least. I think you'd better stay at my place. My parents won't mind at all. Yeah, I'm gonna need to hide out until the heat's off. Maybe practice batting my eyelashes at a weak-willed jury box full of concerned parents, too. Sue blinks in astonishment. Oh, right, Ari, you're still here. You. Oh, I knew you were special. Knew it from day one. If the heat ever cools off and we make amends with a lovely chainsaw, I might pop by your arcade, play some games, and not stir up any trouble.
I'll keep my promise. The public will know Deco hired a gang to go after you. That should exonerate your arcade as a victim of his shady dealings. So, we square?
Option 3. I can't easily forget the mess you landed me in, but I can let it go. Let's try to avoid having our paths cross again, though, shall we?
Yeah, that's fair.
Did we do it? Did we really save the day?
I'm pretty sure we did, but just in case, pinch me!
Oh, right here? Right now? In front of all of these people? Don't you want me to wait to save that for when we're at home? Alone?
It's Teo! I only meant that in case I was still dreaming.
If this is a dream, I never want to wake up. I just want to be here with you. Happy and in love.
Then let's enjoy this moment together.
Yeah. Together. Forever.
The next few days passed by in a blur. That morning, we had press crowding around the doors of the arcade before we'd even opened. Sue's care package of bad news that went up the wire caught their attention. Mixcator! Is it true that Deco Nami organized a gang hit on your arcade? How do you respond to allegations that Deco Nami is involved in an international counterfeit plush doll prize ring? What is your relationship with the ghost monsters? Have you heard of any of the allegations of child abuse? Have you seen Mrs. Defame's article talking about the incident praising your professionalism? I gave so many interviews that day I lost my voice. Fortunately, Teo was on hand to keep me hydrated and encourage me onward. Everybody loved to see a fallen family entertainment icon. It made them feel self-righteous, and Deco Nami was now square in the crosshairs. It didn't matter that the official police response was a generic, "We are still investigating these claims." The court of public opinion had decided Deco's palace was doomed. The final crushing blow came at a televised press conference 3 days later.
These obvious falsehoods generated by jealous business rivals and lying children merely go to show how the powerful are routinely targeted for harassment. Furthermore, what? No! Unhand me immediately! I'm innocent in these matters! Innocent!
She looks familiar. And we never saw him again. Seriously, after the arrest, he just up and vanished from the public eye. It's honestly a bit creepy. I was at least expecting a trial or something.
He told me that if I didn't commit all those crimes, he'd take away my food. I never wanted to be a hacker. I just like computers. I wanted to get a computer degree and get a normal job like anyone else.
Largely a line of hokum, but it was good to see Sue breaking away from Deco's influence all the same. No doubt she'd be back to her own tricks once out of the public eye. The Deco's Palace Board of Directors unanimously voted to eject him, given he'd just vanished into the guts of the judicial system. Oh, the arcade empire he established is still out there. It's still powerful, still tacky as heck, and still a menace to small arcades like ours. But without its guiding vision, it's largely treading water. Who knows? Maybe one day the traditional arcades will overtake what he left behind. As for Starcade, we stayed true to our roots, running a classic video arcade, just as Percy and Naomi wanted. No frills, no muss, no fuss. It'll never be profitable enough to really give any large arcade a run for the money, and Gavin sometimes pulls his hair out trying to keep us in the green. But we're here. We're still having fun, and our games are the best. But the arcade in the end is less important than the people who call it home. With the combined powers of Teo and Michelle, they made Dance Game the most successful arcade rhythm game since Showtime Stage. Teo was able to breathe life into a new community, and with that, he brought them to Starcade. We have the biggest dancing game scene in the whole world, and people travel from all over for tournaments and fun. Heck, we even have 4 Dance Game cabinets at Starcade, and it's never empty. And even though Dance Game is all that jazz, I oft find Teo in the back of the arcade dancing his heart out on Showtime Stage. Never not Showtime Stage, right, Teo?
It's an oldie, but a goodie. It has my heart, but certainly not as much as you do. Remember when we first met and I asked you to dance?
How could I ever forget?
Well, are you up for a round? Wanna hop on up and show me your moves? Just like how we used to back at the Funplex. So, may I have this dance?
I'd thought you'd never ask. Let's dance until the sun sets until the end of our days. I'll always be your dance partner. Iris explained to me that irises, being adaptive software, eventually become more and more like their users. It seems my brash and bold attitude is now reflected in the screen of my phone, as Iris has developed a tude herself.
Why should I have to hide in the shadows? Irises should come out loud and proud to tell the whole world we're ready to help. And I've got you to thank for this newfound confidence.
And would you believe it? Gavin and Naomi ended up dating. Both of them were a bit distant from the others at first, but I guess everything we did together helped them come out of their shells a bit, and realize neither one was an enemy. Oh, they argue from time to time, usually about games and profit margins, but there's a mutual dream they share of a wonderful arcade where they can both be happy, and I'm proud to have played even a small part in helping them find that dream. Naomi formed an online community of arcade repair enthusiasts, one which let her make a safe place to get to know others and be part of a crowd on her own terms. And Gavin took advantage of the fall of Deco's Palace to make Starcade the hottest new arcade destination on the block, using his excellent business skills. I know we're something of an odd couple, but that's okay, we're both odd people. We've never really done anything the normal way to begin with. Oddities we may be, but there's nothing odd about my love for you. I'm so honored to be by your side, Naomi. Percy only had 2 years left to live, but with the success of Starcade and with the encouragement of all his friends, he decided that wouldn't be enough. My mind's made up. I'm going to seek more treatment. I don't want this to end. I don't want to say goodbye to you all. He'd live many years to come thanks to a renewed push to take care of his condition. Happy years spent with all of us. As for Moopy, well, with all of the time in the world, he took his time, paced himself, and eventually beat the score. Although I'm honestly not sure what to do with the rest of my life. Suppose we'll just have to see when we see, Through the good times and the bad, Juniper stuck by me, my BFF for life. I'm really proud of you, you know? You pulled yourself out of the tailspin your life was in. You went for it, you did it, you made it happen. I'm lucky I even got to be a small part of that. A large part of that, I say. I wouldn't be here now if not for you. Hey, I'll take credit if you want me to. Just call me Juniper, the life coach. And you know I'll be in your corner until you're dead. Hopefully later rather than sooner, though. Ashley stayed as our main floor attendant for a while, but as we got bigger, more people took notice of Ashley's Starcade mascot costume. One of those people worked for a big-name arcade and offered her a job to create cosplay for them. Ashley parted ways with us for that dream job. It makes sense, considering we were never that close. I just wonder if she's happy there. When the 4 Heavenly Kings invited her to live and play at their team house, Queen Bee instantly snatched up that opportunity. It's always been her calling. It's been a lot quieter in Starcade since she left. Whenever she's playing in a major tournament, we always show the matches. She never mentions us in her championship speeches. I guess we were just a step on her ladder of success. Love and friendship in a time of pixels and quarters. Finally, I'm home. Starcade. Thank you, Starcade. My spirit is restored and my future is bright. At last, I can say, I'm not done yet, not by a long shot. What I've got is great, don't get me wrong. I'm happy, but I'm not going to settle. I'm aiming higher and higher, because this is Starcade, and I'm just getting started. Game over. Thank you for playing. This is outrageous. I demand to speak with my lawyer. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? You can't do this to me. I am well aware of who you are. Good. Then you know I can afford a lawyer who can run circles around you, whoever you are. True, if you were officially under arrest. Technically, this facility does not exist. Neither do I. What? You can't do this. If you prefer, I could hand you over to the police. There's a cybercrime task force that's eager to get their hands on you. But if you'd like to avoid a lengthy prison sentence, I have a proposition for you. I'd like to know about a tiny, tiny little detail buried in all those leaked files your daughter posted online. Specifically, the 1980X playtests. The what? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. You know damn well what I'm talking about. Sinuslotion's Pride and Joy. You hosted secret playtests of that game. Oh, those tests, sorry, but I don't see what help I'll be. I only played a minor role. Once the test was over, the machines were shipped out to other locations. Exactly. Against our authority, Sinuslotion distributed their prototypes. And you're going to use all your connections, all your leverage, every drop of what little influence you have left to help us find our property. Polybius was our project, Mr. Nami, and we want it back. Oh. Game over for real this time. Thank you for playing. All right, everyone, so that's the end of Arcade Spirits, and that's the end. Your flux capacitor is now charged. On your next playthrough, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll back and forth in time and change your most recent decisions. Also, would you like to save your character and story data from this playthrough so you can use it in any future Arcade Spirits expanded content? Now exporting data. All done. Thank you for playing. All right, so let's see here. I'm just going to check to see who else is streaming right now, and it looks like Shell Shock is doing some more Tokyo Mirage sessions, so we're going to raid him. And on Thursday night, we are going to start on Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. So I hope everybody has a good night, get some sleep, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Telling me that I was getting ads, that they were getting ads for Eats. The screen shrinks and then there's a little banner below. Wait, that actually happens on my screen.